Greetings. We are the principle of Quo, and we are again with this instrument. The contact is insufficiently stable We are those of Quo, and again, we greet you. We are pleased to be with this group again, and we hope with the normal caveat of your discernment as a guiding light to analyze and at your free will utilize our information to aid in your efforts of polarization. Disregard any of what we say that does not fulfill its harmony in the path of any seeker. With this said, we would like to thank you all for your dedication to these workings. With each step, we rejoice. So we bid you to continue and we are eager to answer any queries this circle has to offer us.
Hi, Quo. Thanks for being with us again. I have a couple of questions. Where we have a situation where a horrific crime has been committed, i.e., a murder or a rape or a kidnapping that could have been made even more egregious if the victims are children or the seeming embodiment of innocence. Is it correct that to some degree, both victim and perpetrator have pre-incarnatively chosen to come into third density to play those roles, so to speak, of victim and perpetrator, be it for alleviation of karma or another reason? Are you able to speak on this?
We are those of Kuo, and we are able to give depth to this interesting query. The life path is one that is unique to each entity, with the themes and lessons skillfully threaded and woven into a tapestry of experience in order for the veiled, polarity-driven third density incarnations is faceted and crafted as to give a prismatic effect throughout the events inside the incarnation. The types of events that you describe are life-defining catalysts that shapes and sculpts the best or most accurate environment to experience and choose the severity and the psychological effects that these crimes or negative actions that are very powerful tools, and because of their powerful catalytic nature, these are highly probable to be pre-incarnatively chosen, where, as you said, victim and perpetrator roles would be allocated between different entities who had mirrored needs, giving opportunity for both positive and negative action, as an incarnated lifetime would require. These traumatic experiences, while they seem morally damaging and bellicose, the incarnated spirit has to experience balancing lifetimes over the course of its journey. We apologize. This instrument is we would suggest passing the contact at this time.
We are those known to you as the principle of Quo, and we are now with this instrument. It is rare to be transmitting through this instrument. And we share our gratitude for this allowance and humbly offer the instrument the suggestion to avail herself of our company in this way whenever desired, for it is always our pleasure. We would ask if there is a follow-up query from our brother Shaun related to the transmission answer transmitted through the prior instrument.
I do have an additional question, but before I ask that, I just want to ask, did you manage to articulate your full response before passing over to Ashley?
Yes.
Okay. I'll ask my second question. It's a bit long-winded. I'll try and rattle through it as quickly as possible. There was a situation recently in my country where a person, infamous for being convicted of the killing of young children, he was brutally attacked in prison. I saw people seemingly joyful that this person was, in inverted commas, getting what he deserved. And I don't blame them for having that attitude. I found myself being rather sorrowful and empathetic towards him that he'd been attacked in a brutal fashion. He later died from his injuries, and I saw again people being gleeful. I couldn't help thinking of the image of the Emperor Palpatine in Star Wars urging Luke Skywalker to let the hate flow through him. And I also can't help thinking that this is what those of the negative polarity feed off of, as it were, the stoking up of what I would call negative emotion. Are you able to speak on this and offer anything that could be done to counteract this? Is there a way that we can help others to react to these people in a more loving way without ourselves coming across to them as condoning such horrific acts and being insensitive towards the victims of those acts?
We are those of Qu, and we receive this query. We will say that as individual beings, though your expression of polarity will allow you to effortlessly be of service, if that is within your heart, you did not come here, nor do you as a people have the ability to truly bend and make an other self think a certain way about a certain event. They will still need to experience their own progression through the process of perhaps joy and anger, and then through the realization that joy in the revenge in this kind of expression does not truly give the heart solace, when they discover this for themselves, only then will they truly change their mind and heart. So we would release the burden from all other selves who feel that it is their responsibility to change the mind of another self so that they do not feel a certain way or think a certain way, for that journey is their own, as is the journey of coming to the knowledge that that is their journey, and to respect it is also the task. From our perspective, we see the dance between light love and love light love that is more hidden, expressed as the service to self acts, the so-called dark and evil acts, and the more expressive form of love light in the desire being extended to shield those who are the so-called victims and unable to defend themselves in the moment, and then those that are a blending of the two, most unpolarized in their emotional and mental fluctuations regarding the situation. We can say this dynamic is beneficial to the soul to understand the, the so-called darkness without and within. We would share that the reflections of darkness and evil acts are also the projections of those shadows that lie within. The murdering of the innocents externally by other selves is mirroring that murdering of the innocence that was once done by you all collectively within your consciousness so that you could have this experience. And so there is nothing that occurs without that did not occur within first. And this is how we see this dynamic. We understand that those such as yourself with a heart of service that is not so tied to polarity in its limited form, someone understanding more fully the unity of all, we understand that you would naturally feel compassion and sadness for the other self that is being harmed and jeered at by those who feel they are in the right for the revenge being meted out. And we find this to be a valid response, one that understands that all life is sacred, even the life that is not taking the life sacred, and for you are all one. So there is no way to change these other selves going through the catalytic motions of discovering that revenge and the mocking of the so-called other will not bring true healing, resolution, or peace to the self. This is their journey. As you love the so-called perpetrator who has committed these acts, also love the other selves who jeer and take joy in seeing the comeuppance of such an individual. Both are requiring of love in equal measure and acceptance in equal measure. The point of positioning for such a seeker is not to insert the self into the equation, but to stand on the outsides of it as the brackets and contain with a field of love and acceptance all portions of the equation within. This, we feel, is the best position to have, so that polarity may increase towards unity and more of the law of one distortion. If you have a further query along this line, please ask us.
Not at the moment. That was great though. That's given me a lot to think about. So thank you.
We thank you. Is there another query on the heart of this circle?
Yes, I have a query. It kind of segues into Shaun's question. It's my understanding that most of us incarnate here on Earth at this time are originally and striving for STO polarity. Is it effiable and service to others for me to either telepathically or possibly in astral during meditation to plant seeds of awakening, I guess you could say, to someone, maybe a loved one or people that are engaged in very negative behavior, obvious that they are confused, lost, and in the dark to most people. Would it be effiable and service to others for someone like me to do that telepathically?
We are those known to you as the principle of Quo, and we receive the query. Our brother, we cannot encourage you truly one way or the other. You will find through your own exploration, and even now we perceive that there is a thought and feeling you have about doing this already. And we would say, in the exercising of your free will, however you wish to express your green ray desires, your service to others desires, tuning back into your own heart will give you a response on whether it feels right or whether you feel there is a refinement of that which you are attempting to do. We would encourage the following of that compass to freely express that love light service you wish to render, and then listen to the heart for the feedback. In general, we would caution the service to others minded to ensure that the offering of love light in whatever fashion, be it telepathically or in direct energy transfer, in meditation of a structured nature, that the presiding vibration be love and acceptance of that which you perceive to be other, the darkness, the evil, the elites, the understanding that they are your other selves, that they are you and you are them, and that you love them. And you may not understand their actions or accept their specific actions, but that you accept their beingness, their soul, that you can love that element of them that contains the same magnificent one infinite creator that you do. If you approach with this understanding and heart, with this vibration, then whatever service you render, telepathically or otherwise, will have its pure expression. Again, we cannot truly force any other entity to do a thing or be a thing, but we are called to see them as they are, accept them for the true being that they are, and love them. And this is the foundation with which to offer the service, even those that are not so knee deep in the STS world machinations, so to speak, those who are within the sinkhole, those who seem to teeter back and forth between positive and negative states. These also require the acceptance vibration and the love vibration, first and foremost, before offering the service. For the vibrations of wishing to force or change or make them better is at odds with the vibration of unity and the distortion of the law of one that expresses the perfection and wholeness of all things, even in its seeming imperfection. May we provide more clarity on this?
No, thank you. That was perfect.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
thank you.
that was powerful. Thank you. And so my question is, what is the service to other route for making a positive change in the world and, say, for instance, land for all beings?
We are those of Quo, and we would joyously share as we show this instrument an expanse of stars, that there are as many ways to express the heart of service, to express the heart of the so-called good changes in the world, as there are stars in the cosmos. Each of you there on Earth is a very unique crystal expressing a certain light from the full spectrum diamond that the infinite creator is. As you follow your heart, as you unequivocally open the green ray, you will naturally fall into the manner of service that you are meant to do at this space-time nexus. The opening of the green ray, the unequivocal acceptance of all other selves, this will reveal to you in time what specific actions you are meant to take for your own individual incarnation. We would suggest the trusting of this process within the self, that you will find your way as long as your intention is pure and your green ray is open and active. Is there a further query?
That was good, but I'm just wondering about the land for all beings in particular, and if the Confederation has any thoughts on that.
We are those of Quo, and we understand your perspective, our beloved, but it is not our perspective, for our vantage point is at quite a different lens than that of humanity. We understand that there may be a strong desire expressed within you that the positive outcome for humanity in some way is tied to the acquisition of land for all of your other selves. However, we would say that if the heart and mind of humanity has not sufficiently expanded to understand the interconnectedness of all things, to understand the truth that there is more to reality beyond the five senses, to connect to the green ray, to become aware and activate communally the gateway to intelligent infinity, that the acquisition of land for all would not truly advance your civilization. What will truly advance your civilization, what will truly bring the joy, the peace, the love, the light, and the unity lies within the confines of your skulls and within the depths of your chests. It is your hearts and your minds. This is the true playing field, the true arena where large-scale transformation will begin. So we do not necessarily see a value to giving the land to every one of your other selves as being a solution that advances your consciousness as a collective.
Thank you. And so, how would we help to advance the consciousness of humanity in a way that we can be in a place of people being able to meet their own needs?
We are those of Quo, and we receive this query, and we perceive the heart of you, our brother, that thinks often and kindly of the well-being of their other selves. such is the nature of those vibrating with the green ray distortion towards service to others. And we are pleased to see it, and we are pleased and receive it fully. Each of you came here with a mission encoded within your beingness, and there are quite a lot of you on Gaia at this time, millions of you, with this sacred mission, with this sacred vibration. And again, we must repeat that your missions and the manner in which you express this service is going to be unique for you. All that we can tell you is to continue on in your disciplines of the personality, continue on in your meditation, continue on in knowing the self, accepting the self, and becoming the creator, expressing your authentic beingness and opening your heart fully to all that is around you, healing within those wounds and traumas and baggage that keeps you from expressing your childlike and innocent hearts. In this way, in these workings that occur first within you, you will naturally come upon the ways that you may be of service to all. Until this working is done more fiercely within the own mind and heart, there will be no clarity, even if we give you specific steps. We could say, go here and do this thing, and go there and do that thing. Steps A through Z, and yet these would not help nor offer comfort. There would still be within the incarnation a sense of restlessness, a sense of frustration that it is simply not enough. And this comes from the fact that the refinement has not been fully expressed within. Trust this process, that as you all look within yourselves, heal the mind, heal the heart, open the self up to expressing the authentic nature that you have. This will reveal what it is you need to do, where it is you need to go. We do apologize, for we know that it is oh so attractive to have those who you perceive to be from beyond to tell you what to do, to give you the steps to take. But we love you enough to respect your decision that you made eons ago to do this in this way for yourselves. Is there a further query, our brother?
So, yes, that was good. And I remember in an earlier Confederation Channeling, and it was talking about the contrast between the planning and the more spontaneous way of life. And what I seem to be settling on is that every morning I pray and I meditate to hear from the Spirit what it is that I should do that day, and then act on it throughout the day. And whenever I feel tired, I go for a meditation or a nap to hear more of what the Spirit has for me, and so on throughout the day. And at the end of the day, I reflect again. And so, I'm given an overarching vision of several years and also months and days, and how everything is to come together. So I'm just wondering, is that kind of along the lines of acceptable?
We are those known to you as the principle of quo, and we receive your heartfelt inquiry. We detect an abundance of joy and passion surrounding the words that you have said and the visions that appear to you in your meditations. We perceive the heart of your desires to be of a pure and altruistic nature. We offer no rejection of that which your heart has revealed to you. And we would encourage you to continue to follow that passion. Passion is a primary aspect of the one infinite creator's beingness. And so for yourself and others that are on this side of the path of love, that passion is also a guide. That vision, the passion informs the vision. The vision does not form unless there is passion behind it. So we would say to follow in the trajectory of that passionate vision your heart has revealed to you for the benefit of your other selves in whatever way you deem fit. This encouragement we offer to all. When following the heart's passion, that natural wellspring of energy, vitality, and excitement that comes with a specific thought or vision or desire to do a thing consonant with the law of one in your polarity. When this comes about, follow the momentum, allow it to carry you, for this is the nature of natural beingness. This is the nature of what is called effortless effort.
Thank you. Cool.
We thank you. At this time, we would ask if there is another query, or we will attempt to transfer the contact to the one known as Edward, that we may continue the queries if there is energy within the instrument, or that we will close through that instrument if so desired.
I had another question, but I can wait until the transfers happened if that's easier, or what's best.
We do not decide what is best, our brother. However, we will address this query before the transfer.
Okay, thanks. So it's come to light recently, in recent years, through the podcasts and media, that there are people on this earth who have they're non-verbal autistic. Most of them are autistic, non-verbal, but it's been shown that they have the ability to communicate telepathically as well as other things, and they can engage in things like mind sight, where they can see things with their eyes closed, and they can communicate with others telepathically. And I was just wondering if these beings are the dual activated beings that Ra mentioned, and whether these beings also are now acting as a bridge between the third density and the fourth density that is beings that will be incarnate on Earth eventually.
We are those of Quo, and we receive the query. There is truth to this perspective, to this information, to this reflection within your reality of the nonverbal and so labeled autistic children being born with more frequency and providing more unique catalyst and avenues of understanding for your collective. They are indeed of the dual activation. However, we share additionally that there are those, many among you, that are dual activated and possess no physical challenges expressed in those who have been labeled autistic. So there is this dual expression where one may be dual activated and have no such limitations. There is a specific purpose for the dual activated of this type for coming into the world, as you surmised, and as we also see on your planet. This has opened the awareness collectively that you as a species are capable of communicating in ways that defy the common held framework of your reality. This in turn spurs the seeking to what else is possible. And this also offers the catalyst of understanding and tolerance and acceptance of those among you who are expressing differently in their beingness and yet still deserving of and requiring attention and love. They are indeed yet another profound catalyst collectively manifesting to show you all as a populace what is possible, what will be, what could be, to expand your minds. This is an assessment we agree with. In the future, as the collective on your world evolves, there will be less and less of a need for those to manifest with these physical limitations that express in autistic children at this time. And there will simply be those born with these fourth density abilities and activation without any physical limitation or verbal limitation or mental distortions that make it difficult to navigate a third density expressing civilization. This state of the children being born in this way, although it will seem long to you, is quite temporary, but is serving, each has come here to serve as a catalytic changer, as a better word would be We cannot find it in this instrument's mind. However, we will just assure that this is a special group with a special mission, and they have consciously come here to aid your planet through this transition time, at which point they will no longer be born in this way. Does this satisfy the query?
Yes, I've got some follow-ups, but if you need to transfer, or if there's energy remaining, I can ask my follow-up now.
There is plenty of energy within this instrument.
So these beings who I mentioned, and you confirmed that they were here on a special mission. Are these already in fourth? Are these already in fourth density activation? Are they harvestable? Have they come back as wanderers in this form?
They are those known to you as the principle of Quo. They are those who have returned to be with you. They are those who have witnessed the ecstasy and jubilation that is your fourth density Gaia, and yet their hearts have ached for you. So they have decided to come back, and to come back with a vengeance, so to speak, in that their expression in incarnation is to be very rattling to the collective. As you see, on the whole, this special group has opened your minds to what is possible within you. So they are those who have returned, who have transitioned into fourth density and come back. Many are wanderers, but not all. May we provide more clarity on this?
Yeah, just a final question on this topic from me. I'm envisioning as we move into fourth density, that these children who we mentioned, they act as a bridge, and then as time progresses, I'm envisioning fourth density beings being born with fourth density activated, and then there'll be fewer and fewer third density beings, and one will just sort of overtake the other. Is that how it will work, or will it work more? All the third density beings will leave, then the Earth will be barren, and then all the fourth density will come back.
We are those of Quo, and we receive the query. There will be this will seem to be a very long stretch of time for your peoples. However, the third density vehicle cannot manifest and function appropriately on your fourth density positively activated Gaia. So yes, there will need to be the completion of physicality in these terms on your 3D world. This process will take much time, but there will eventually become a moment where there are no longer any third density inactivation bodies on this planetary body. And then this 3D form of your Gaia will go into a dormant state and a period of inactivity, at which point fourth density harvested beings will be actively enjoying their life and experiences on a fourth density planet proper. There will be no carrying of your current flesh bodies to the fourth density planet. They are simply not compatible. There is not as much light density contained within the structure. Though your consciousnesses and your energy bodies may resonate and express within fourth density. Currently, it is an activation, but not visible to you, but present, even now. You just cannot see it yet. May we provide more clarity on this?
So the dual activated people, they have third density bodies, and is there going to be like a transition point where people get, you got just dual activated people, and then somehow there's fourth density people? Is it like a gradual transition, or what's going on?
We are those of Quo, and we believe we understand the seeking of clarity along this point. We will share that the dual activated body is referring to a quality that is energetic. You may have a third density incarnate, and if they are dual activated, this green ray fourth density body can be perceived energetically, can be engaged with in the consciousness, but there would be no third density expression of this body. However, it would have a positive effect on the physique. It would have a potency to the vibrations that are emanated by this being. The second body, the green ray body, would not establish its proper activation unless within fourth density completely.
So I'm sensing there's still some kind of mystery in terms of when and how the transition would occur. Because I know I've read from Dolores Cannon of people or villages that became so enamored with love and light that they, as a village, ascended to fourth density. And so they were no longer visible to the third density people around them. And they kind of were living on their own parallel earth, so to speak. I'm wondering if we may be looking forward to something along those lines.
From our perspective and viewing of various possibility vortices of expression within your timeline, we perceive at this moment that there will be and need to be the complete transition from third density physicality, a complete closing of the third density experience as a collective before the full activation of your own fourth density bodies within the fourth density planet. It is within the realm of possibility, as it has happened before, of a collective of incarnates to raise their vibration and ascend / manifest into fourth density completely. However, this is not the current expression that your world is given, but this may occur in some small groups of humans. As it stands for this moment, most, if not all of you, will give up your physical bodies before continuing on into the fourth density. You call this the death.
Okay, I hear you. And I'm just wondering, it's just how it's sounding is kind of like a global cataclysm of sorts, where there would be none left incarnate, um, somewhat like the New Earth of Revelation or something like that. So I'm wondering if that's what you're talking about, or if it's something else.
We would suggest the reviewing of prior transcripts of our words from the LL Research database, where we have touched on the nuances of the harvest, how this manifests throughout the various ages from now into the future. At this point, we do not see a cataclysm being the cause of the complete close of third density experience for your peoples. However, we would call to mind where we have mentioned that the gradual decline, although this may not be noticed initially, but the gradual decline of children being born on this planet globally is the beginning of this process. And despite some efforts on your world to increase the birthing of more humans, this decline in the birth rate will continue and increase through generations and generations until the closing of this cycle. There will be a dwindling naturally of the human pool until there is such a small amount that full transition is possible. Does this
Well,
satisfy the query?
sure, I guess.
We would offer the message that, in general, all of you on Gaia do not need to worry about the nuances of how you will move from one planetary experience to the next. It is not so beneficial to your harvestability to understand the intricate and often hidden mechanics at play when a flesh based entity of third density moves into the more exotic manifestation of fourth density beingness. For even if these intricate metaphysical nuances, mechanics, and frameworks were to be known, they would not aid in the polarization. They would not aid in the opening fully of green ray. Your harvestability and your ticket of admission to a fourth density body on your awaiting fourth density Gaia is the quality and the ability you have to love all unequivocally, and to be able to see and perceive the Creator and the you that is the Creator in all things. Intellectual understanding of metaphysical principles will never cover the cost for admission into this density of unconditional love and understanding. Your heart will be cracked wide open and its contents sifted through, as well as the distortions of your mind. And this is not based in information. This is based in how much you embraced the self that you are. Scars, flaws, beautiful qualities, how much you embraced your enemy that sheds blood, that harms the children, how much you were able to extend your compassion, your grace, how much you were able to humble your heart and be as the child, how much you were able to express love and beingness. This is how you transition. And in that transition, we can promise you that your questions, all the things you wonder, will be answered. But until those qualities within your heart and mind have reached that level of unconditional love, acceptance, and understanding, of healing and balance, full spectrum, the acceptance of shadow, that you have made it your ally, and the seeing of the one creator in all, information will not help you or any of those on this path. So we offer a small caution to not allow the obstacle of intellectual grasping for metaphysics beyond the third density to cloud and bar your path to true ascension.
Well, thank you for that. Though I do have a follow up in terms of the mass dreams of the future, and they have kind of multiple future timelines, if you will. And one of them seems to describe a fourth density Earth as soon as 2100 of people incarnate in, surroundings of food forests and telepathy and open alien contact and things like that. And so I'm wondering if there's kind of more of a parallel Earth or something we can have here.
We are those known to you as the principle of Quo. And although we cannot speak to any specific date or time or years, we can say that your fourth density will indeed have you expressing telepathic ability, and it will be ripe with plenty of food, forests. As for whether there is this current parallel Earth existing in what you call the year 2100, we cannot speak to the validity of this, but can assure you that when you all transition into the fourth density proper, there will be those elements present there that you have mentioned.
Thank you.
We thank you, and we will attempt now to transfer the contact as this instrument lessens in energy. We thank you, our brothers and sister, for your heart of seeking and for your heart that is indeed committed to serving your brothers and sisters. We will transfer the contact now and attempt to close this session through our brother Edward at this time. We are those of Quo.
We are those of Quo, and we return to this instrument to answer any remaining queries or to close the circle at this time. We thank you all for the spirited questioning, and we again ask if there are any more questions at this time.
I had one. Sorry to. I had a quick one. Hopefully, I'm just wondering if there's anything that you could advise or any exercise that I'm not currently doing that might be more helpful in me progressing to becoming like a vocal channel.
We are those of Quo, and we thank you, our brother, for this personal query. We have often struggled to give specific metaphysical exercises, as each seeker is unique and their aptitudes and abilities will range with the uniqueness of the entity. We would say you have gathered a selection of useful tools and practices and we would always recommend expanding and reimagining progression and adaptation of techniques to serve whatever purpose the seeker may need. The relevance of any specific practice, like many other things in your incarnation, are synchronistically brought to you for you to examine and test its resonance to that of the self. While performing this type of exploration, trying to intuit an understanding of the metaphysical systems will allow you the additions of processes that match the long-term progression over the path. We would also say asking for guidance and following synchronistic events can lead to extraordinary accelerations in development and spiritual practice, having faith that you will be taught or integrate whatever skills you need over your incarnation. So when you have progressed to a more adept incarnational level, the necessary and vital skills will already be in your skill set. We would also remind seekers that meditation can be found in many actions and forms, and by seeing the Creator in all things, a majority of one's life can become a spiritual practice. We apologize if our limitations surrounding free will have given you disappointment due to a lack of specific succinctness, but we trust that the skills or practices you need will manifest within plenty of time of you needing them. We hope that this has reassured you and answered your question, and we ask if there is any further understandings we could clarify.
No, that was fine for now. It wasn't disappointing either. So thank you.
We thank you, my brother. Are there any further questions from the heart of this circle?
I have a final query, my brothers and sisters. I'm aware that you can't give specific answers, so I would just try to generalize this. Can you explain some of the metaphysical natures of what I would call a purple and golden flame, this harmony of fires as an energy. I've seen this, and this has come through me during earth healing meditation, but also present in my aura. And I've seen it covering the earth. It appears, the kind of purple is like what's called a corona discharge that pine trees have when lightning is about to strike. This very neon, plasmic, deep purple with golden in it. These two fires have been melding and being very present in my workings, but I'm seeing it around the earth as well. So if you could generally speak to any metaphysical attributes you perceive to this purple golden flame, I would appreciate any comment. Thank you.
We are those of Kuro, and we thank you for this query, my sister. We would begin with a brief explanation of the violet golden flame that you speak of. This specific visualization process is favored by many of the inner planes and ascendant members of your race. It is a way of utilizing the focus, releasing energy center at the crown. This is often called the violet ray center, and when all chakras are in harmony, the fine we correct this instrument, the intricate fine threads of the Creator's light meeting at this apex point creates a violet colored energy. To us, we can see these subtle ribbons in more precise resolution, giving this area the appearance more of a mandala or sacred geometric expression, but to the, as they have been referred to, ascendant masters, the energy release resembles a violet and gold flame. The way this visualization tool has been so prolific throughout the spiritual tracts followed on earth is due to the utilization of this energy release as a way of cleansing and purifying the mind and emotional aspects of incarnated experience. This violet flame could be seen to represent the culmination and interaction of all of your energy centers. These same interactions are seen through all third density entities which might create the purple violet flames you perceived over Gaia herself. The utilization of these energies is an aid to the discipline of personality and is a powerful tool if utilized with the correct intent. But we feel it is somewhat of a distortion from the factual energetic systems expressed by your third density form. We hope this has given you some indication, and we ask if there is any other thoughts or queries you would like clarification on.
Not at this time for me, thank you.
Are there any other queries at this time? Then we will bid you farewell. We are those of Kuro, and we thank you. We are grateful and consistently pleased at the passions and the energies that are blended during these workings. It is joyous basking in their emanations. So we look forward to the next opportunity to experience this blending, and we leave you all in the wondrous light and love of the one infinite creator. Hatonn.